What is up, and welcome to Ask DLF, with the goal of the show is to answer all of your fantasy football questions and to help you dominate your dynasty leagues. The NFL never disappoints, never, when it comes to giving us things to talk about. We got Hollywood Brown traded. We got A.J. Brown traded. Malik Willis falling in the draft. We got new homes for running backs, wide receivers, and all of that. But to hear us talk about it, you've got to ask the questions. And here to answer those questions, we've got Tyler at TylerFF Creator. As always, Tyler, how are you today?
Actually, surprisingly, I'm great. Not even tired. I'm good.
And for the first time, we've got Hutchinson Brown. Hutch, what's up? I see behind you, you got some jerseys. I don't know, what NFL team are you a fan of?
Eagles fan, but I'm a huge Derrick Henry fan, so I have the signed jersey behind me. And then I have the Akers helmet was gifted to me by a good friend of mine in this industry. The Eagles helmet I bought online. I found it on like a bidding site for a cheap deal. And then the Judy jersey actually won at the Expo in like one of the raffles.
Love it. Eagles definitely making some moves, and a lot of things to talk about in Tennessee as well, no doubt, there with Henry. So he's at Ty FM NFL, is that right? Am I saying that right?
TYFM NFL, yeah.
Yeah, it's right there below him if I can't read.
What does that mean? I've always wanted to ask.
Yeah, because my podcast name is called the Young Fantasy Mind Football Podcast.
Oh, that's
and TYFM stands for that, and it's just NFL.
Oh, I'm so stupid.
That's what it stands for. Yeah. I'm planning on changing that handle.
Yeah.
I'm planning on changing it. I don't know. It's fun, but it's fun to watch people mess it up. The only reason it's fun is because I get to watch people mess it up, and it's really funny.
Well, that was perfect then, right? Yeah, made you feel right at home by messing it up right away.
Yeah, exactly.
And today's episode is brought to you by DynastyLeagueFootball.com. There is a brand new partnership with Underdog. Make sure you go check that out. Really cool. There is a tweet from the DLF account. Make sure you go check that out at DL Football. Without further ado, there's so much to talk about. Tyler, you ready? Hutch, you ready?
Let's go.
I'm always ready. Let's
go. BJ Lee got in here early. Uh-oh. We got to figure out how to not cut you off completely here. Hang on. Let's talk about it, and I'll figure it out behind the scenes. He came in at 7:15. That must have been Eastern time. Always looking forward to the stream. What are your taco toppings? And besides maple syrup, what do you put on your waffles? Okay, hang on. We got to make sure, because last time this didn't work. I need everybody to tell me, is this working? Hang on, right?
This is Taco Tuesday.
I'm literally gonna kill you. Like, I can't do it.
I am so excited it's working. Last week, Hutch, I was not able to get it to work, and felt kind of dumb. But let's talk about.
Thought that I was just no selling him on the drops the whole show.
I did.
That there were drops, and I just ignored them for an hour. Wow. That's what he thought was happening. That's not what was happening. There were no drops, but it was really funny.
I'm going to figure out how not to cover.
There's got to be a better way to align.
Look, right now, we'll cover my face. There we go. While I figure this out, go ahead. So now I know Tyler doesn't even eat. He doesn't like tacos. He doesn't like waffles. He doesn't like things that taste good and like give him any kind of enjoyment or satisfaction in any way, shape, or form. How about you, Hutch?
Taco toppings. I mean, like cheese, lettuce, tomatoes, sour cream. I like avocados. Like, I don't know. Like, I thought we were answering fantasy football questions. This is also fun. And I don't love
these.
Oh, I like you already.
This is fun
already. If that was a response, that's good.
No, I got two of y'all here now, huh? Okay, here we go. Henry,
I love this. Though. It is fun. I love that question. It's fun.
I have the 102 in both my FFPC rookie drafts, assuming Hall goes 101. I have no clue who to pick. If you ask 5 different people, you get 5 different answers. All right. Hall is gone.
That's not a surprise, right? I mean, if you have 5 players that are valued similarly, you're going to have 5 different answers, right? I mean, that makes sense, doesn't it? I mean, I have heard, just listening. I listen to a lot of podcasts, a lot of them. The DLF main show is, the first one I ever listened to, but many other podcasts. And I will tell you that I have heard all 5 possibilities. I've heard Walker, from me and from, the people who see RB value as the most important. And then I've heard the case for every wide receiver between Wilson, London, Burks, and Jameson Williams. I've heard the case for all of them. And while, it's hard to say that I was convinced one way or another. The cases were there. I mean, everyone had their case, and they they laid out an argument, and I obviously stuck with my rankings, but the arguments for all 5 players were very reasonable. So yeah, I think that's the case. And what this is telling me is that if you have the 102, you should probably try to trade down to the 105 or even potentially the 106 and see what you can get on top of that. I would look to explore an offer like that.
Yeah, I completely agree. If there's no 100% guy that you really, really want, you should definitely look to trade down. Like, that's just kind of how it goes. You should look to get more value, extract more value, and get one of the players that you might be considering at like the 105 instead.
I think the answer is Kenneth Walker, and I don't really understand. I know there's other good wide receivers.
That'd probably be my answer
like that,
too.
But
me too.
For me, if I got 102, I'm taking Kenneth Walker because there's a big drop off after that for the running backs, and there's a lot of wide receivers that I can try to take that are very similar in my opinion. So
you didn't watch my show yesterday.
I'm taking Kenneth Walker. Well, also because in Seattle, he's got a coach that's going to feed him the ball. He's good. He's fast. I love, look at what Pete Carroll did with Chris Carson, a 6th round pick.
All right, I will get to that
what Kenneth Walker can do.
I will get to that super chat. I just want to say yesterday I talked about this, and this is a very, very important concept. So I'll repeat it again now that we're here. Remember, you said, Cal, just now that you can get a wide receiver later in the rookie draft, right? A wide receiver later in the rookie draft. So you would take Kenneth Walker at 102. Now, I understand that, and I agree. I would also take Kenneth Walker at 102. So it's not the pick that I want to comment on. It's the concept, the idea that you can get a wide receiver later in the rookie draft. Remember, and I want people to think about this because I don't hear this enough. Remember that the rookie draft is an artificial temporary market. An artificial temporary market. Once the rookie draft is over, it doesn't matter who you picked at the 102, the 103, whatever. The players go into the startup rankings like they would any other player, right? Once you draft them, there's no difference between the player you drafted in a rookie draft and anyone else. So the way that I do rookie ranks, actually, and I think you might find this interesting. I don't know if you two do it this way. But I do post-draft rookie ranks by ranking the players in a startup first and then back ranking them into a rookie ranks list. That's what I would do if I were doing rookie ranks. That's how I do it. Most people don't do it that way, but that's how I would do it if I were, you guys or anyone listening. And that way you realize where the players actually fall in among the entire tier at each position and overall. Because without that context, you can't really tell what is really the difference between the 103, the 104, and the 105, 106. Whereas I can tell you from having done it that in my overall startup rankings, I have Kenneth Walker, Garrett Wilson, Drake London, and Treylon Burks back to back to back to back in that order. So literally back to back, no one between them in my startup rankings. So that's saying that the value is almost identical. But then there's like a 6-spot drop to Jameson Williams, and then to Chris Olave is maybe a 15-spot drop or so. So if you look at it that way, the tiers become more apparent instead of just pulling it out of your head what you think the tiers are. If you rank them in the startup ranking first, the real market, the real total market, you'll get a better idea. And you'll do better in your rookie drafts than if you just look at the rookie draft in isolation. And this is a very, very critical concept that most podcasts, they don't look at it this way. Most people I hear talking about it do not look at it this way. And it will give you a huge advantage over your league mates. Trust me on this one.
So the value still backs it up. So like in startups, the ADP still shows, at least according to dynastyleaguefootball.com's ADP that's tracked on the site from the mocks organized by Ryan McDowell, shows 38 right there is where our guy Kenneth Walker's going, and then it's down at 42 for Garrett Wilson, actually the very first wide receiver.
But that's
there.
The point. He's the 102 because he ranks higher in a startup, not he ranks higher in a startup because he's the 102. It's the other way around. It's because of where he ranks in startup drafts, because of where the running backs rank on my overall startup board. That is why he's the 102 in my rookie draft. So it's just a lot of people I feel get the cause and effect backward there. And it's just something I think if you switch your thinking on that and switch your thinking about how you think about the dynasty market as a whole, I really think it'll help you as a dynasty manager, not just to who you pick at the 102, but it'll help you strategize. And, if you have any questions about that, put that in the chat because it is an interesting concept. And I think people would be interested in that.
Best Ball, and I'm pulling your the DM up right now. I'm going to pull it up on the screen here in just a second. We'll get to the rest of Henry's question. Henry was really hoping Hall or Walker would go to Buffalo. Kills my Penny and Carter shares. So it wasn't them. It was actually Cook. It was Cook that went to Buffalo. Yeah. Do you like that?
You were in on Hall to Buffalo, weren't you?
I was very in. Yeah, I really wanted Hall to Buffalo. I wanted to see him in that offense. But Cook to Buffalo is also great. I mean, Devin Singletary, I feel like it's going to be James Cook because I feel like he's going to translate into the NFL as more of a smaller pass catching type of running back. I don't think he's going to be built as like a strong workhorse back like we see his brother Dalvin Cook being. So I feel like Singletary is going to take a lot more rush attempts. And I feel like James Cook is going to take some pass work. So he could be really interesting for fantasy, especially in that offense. So I actually do like it. And I think he's worth an early second in a one quarterback or Superflex league rookie draft.
Love it. I'm not as big on Cook. I think he's this year's Keyshawn Vaughn. But we can talk about that later. Here we go. He said, this is Best Ballin' says, rate my rookie draft. He DM'd it to me. He did. Let's pull us out of here and pull that up. Okay. He's got 2022. Ooh. We got 101, Breece Hall. 104, Treylon Burks. 105, Kenneth Walker. Not bad. This is a brag. This is a brag, isn't it?
It is?
105 Walker is a steal.
Yeah.
I think you walk with those
that's
three.
Nasty.
Okay. The start was fine. I mean, it's fine. I really
Is this where it gets 106?
I like Dameon Pierce a lot. I've really liked Dameon Pierce in Houston. I like him at 208.
Yeah, we're gonna get torn apart though. Starting at taking Pickett at 106 is a huge mistake.
I think it's a bit of a reach. Yeah,
it's a mistake. I would take Jameson Williams there for sure. Who I assume was the wide receiver left. If it were Garrett Wilson or Drake London, it's a bigger mistake. So that one is a mistake. Malik Willis at 204. I'm with Addison on this. I listened to Addison's content. He said that he wouldn't take these quarterbacks. He didn't really want the third round quarterbacks. He would wait until later. And I'm with him. For me, the 204 on Malik Willis is just too early. I get that the upside's there, but it's a good chance he never plays. I mean, I don't see it as a guarantee. I mean, when someone drafts a quarterback in the third round, that guy could just be a backup. And, just because if they move on from Ryan Tannehill, doesn't guarantee they move on from Ryan Tannehill to Malik Willis. So that pick is not so great.
In a super flex, though, I think I'm willing to take that shot on Malik Willis because in the mid second round, you're not getting many players that you're really going to think that you can depend on. I mean, you're looking at guys like Dameon Pierce, you're just not looking at guys that you can really know that you're going to get fantasy points from, like Treylon Burks, like a Garrett Wilson or Kenneth Walker potentially. You're not looking at those type of guys there. So in a super flex league, well, I'm assuming this is a super flex league.
It has to be, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Has to be.
Potential, the 106 kind of pick, it has to be super flex. The potential Malik Willis has is just so high because of his big arm, because of his rushing. If he can develop right, he could be a superstar for fantasy and in the real life NFL. So I think it's worth the shot in the second round. But
okay, for both of you,
why not? Because I think he's definitely a big risk, and there's definitely a chance that he really just falls flat in his face.
Would you have taken Malik Willis right there, and I'm just guessing if he was available, Jahan Dotson?
Oh, Jahan Dotson, I would take so easily. Yeah,
David Bell.
That one's closer. I think I'd take Jahan Dotson. David Bell, I might take Malik Willis.
I'll take David Bell.
Let's see who would.
No, I
Trey
don't.
McBride. What if Trey McBride was still there?
I will take Trey McBride.
Yeah, I really like Trey McBride. I might take him there.
Trey McBride, I will say.
I really like him.
Now is your chance to get out from Rondale Moore. This is your opportunity. Zach Ertz has 2 years guaranteed, 2 guaranteed years, essentially 10 million. I mean, they can save 2 million and lose 10 if they cut him after this year. It's not really saving much. I don't know why they would do that. So it was really a 2-year deal. Now, I don't think, I know that guy. The guy who messaged us, team. 2 years of, yeah, but the YouTube name and the Twitter name is not always the same. 2 years of Zach Ertz. But they drafted Trey McBride in the second round. So do we think that Trey McBride is just going to sit on the bench? No, I don't think so. I don't think he's just going to sit on the bench. So what does that mean? What does that mean if they drafted Trey McBride? That means that they're going to run some 12 personnel sets, right? That's what that means. So he'll have an opportunity to flash a little bit. And his draft capital says that he should be the starter eventually. So he's someone that I'm interested in. And I do think that offense is very high power. Now without Nuke, he'll have a little bit more of an early chance. I would rather, I don't know, have more faith in Trey McBride breaking out than I do Rondale Moore.
Yeah, Trey McBride, I mean, I think he's the clear best tight end in this draft. I mean, he's one of the things you got to look for in tight ends when you draft him for fantasy is athleticism, and he's got it. He can make yards after the catch. He can make different plays. Like, that's what you got to look for in tight ends, and he's got it. So he's one of the most athletic tight ends in this class, running just over a 4.5 40. Like, he's good. He's going to be good. And he might have to, share snaps with Zach Ertz for a year or two. But when he gets the tight end room to himself, just watch out.
We still want Dallas Goedert now, right? And he gets to share snaps with Zach Ertz. So we still want him, right? So it worked out once. And I think that Trey McBride is a similar level of prospect to Dallas Goedert, actually, in a lot of ways. I don't think they're really all that different.
Fair.
Henry the Legend chimes back in. This class was a lot like 2016 to me. A clear 101 like Zeke. Then we had Treadwell, Doxson, Coleman, Derrick Henry. There you go. Don't be smirched, Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Followed by Shepard and Michael Thomas. I remember that.
The difference between this class and that class is I'm more confident that the other players being taken at the top are not that bad. Like, that class really had nothing beyond 101, whereas this class, to me, Garrett Wilson is basically bust proof. I don't see a universe in which Garrett Wilson busts.
There's not. He's safe, very safe. Yeah.
So boring. He reminds me a little. I mean, I said these things about Justin Jefferson, safe, boring, and I was right about the floor, but he had a ceiling that I didn't foresee. So I hope Garrett Wilson is the next one. He has the same ceiling I don't foresee. But I would not bet on that. But he seems very safe to me. And the other ones are riskier, though. I will say talent's there, but riskier.
Ed, with the right answer here, he says that he went Walker with the 102.
But we all agree on that. Yeah. We all agree.
Yeah, I think Walker is the 102. Yeah.
Jesse hates the 102. I don't know. I mean, look, I'm not opposed to trading down if I can, but I'm not going. Where's that line for you? Where are you not trading down past, Hutch?
Like, if you're looking to trade down, still get one of those like players you're considering at the
like the 108. Let's say, would you do 108?
I don't know. That's too far. For me, you got to have a top 5 pick still. You're only moving down a couple spots.
I'm willing to go down to 106 if I can get a lot more to go down to 106. Like, if I can get 106, let's say I could get. I mean, this is what I would try. I don't think this gets through in any league, but I would try to get 106 and a 23 first for 102 and a 23 second. I would try.
I would take that in a heartbeat.
I know you would, and I know Cal would too. But
that,
right? But like,
that happens.
If you don't try, you'll never know.
Yeah.
Right. And then maybe you get Wilson, London, or Burks anyway, because there are a lot of people who like Jameson Williams. It's possible you get one of the. But
and in a super flexi, there might be a desperate guy who needs a quarterback and might take.
Yeah, if Kenny Pickett goes ahead, you can get one of the wide receivers you like anyway. But just to reiterate, I don't have a problem with Jameson Williams. Jameson Williams to me is closer to Burks, London, and Wilson than he is to the rest of the wide receivers. To me, it's kind of this class is like a tier. Those guys are tier 1A. Jameson Williams is tier 1B. And then, we move to Olave is kind of on an island for me. And then we move to the rest.
Alec got offered Barkley, Amari, and the 210 for 108, 110, and 112. Is this good enough to take on Saquon Barkley?
So let's think about that. So
that's tough.
Is this I mean, it doesn't matter as much as it used to, but let's say this is a super flex. So you can get, so it's a little bit better on the pick side. You can probably get Olave at 8, almost always, because the first 7 is usually the normal 7. And then at 10, I have Christian Watson. At 12, I have James Cook. So does that seem, that feels kind of light. I mean, Christian Watson and Amari Cooper have similar value to me, actually. Mm-hmm. They're very close to my startup rankings. So then it would be James Cook and Chris Olave for Barkley and 210, which is like Brian Robinson. So I think I'd still lean the Barkley side, but this sounds like you have the picks now. I'm not sure I would voluntarily trade into Barkley for this. I'd rather not. So I
think this person already has the picks on them, and they're getting offered Barkley, Amari, and the 210 for this.
Yeah, I'd rather not do that because I don't really want to trade into Barkley, and I don't really want to trade into Amari.
I don't want to do that either. Those are just both very gross players, especially like if you're like a rebuild type of team, like if you're not really looking to win now, like Barkley and Amari are not the players you want to be targeting in Dynasty fantasy football.
Amari is someone I don't understand. I mean, he was crappy in 2021, and now
he was so frustrating. He was such a headache all year long.
He was terrible. I mean, he was terrible.
He was so bad.
People don't realize how bad Amari Cooper was in 2021. He was actually so really bad. And, I don't know. I mean, maybe Deshaun Watson will fix him.
He didn't even get 1,000 yards, right?
No, he was awful. I mean, it was he played 15 games, but he only had 865 yards, 57.7 yards a game. I mean, that's awful. I mean, it's not awful, but that's not what you want. That's not what you're paying for.
Yeah.
So Amari scares me almost more than Barkley.
Someone offered him Monty and Rondale for 110 and a 2023 second and third. David Montgomery.
Yeah, I feel like Montgomery. Montgomery's worth more than that. I need something better than that.
Yep.
So I'll pass on that one.
Similar to what we talked about here, Trogdor asked about the tier breaks in the first, second rounds. I do think it's after that 107. There's probably a little bit of a tier break there.
Yeah, I think
there's
105.
Some interesting names.
I would think more 105, 106, depending on Superflex or not. I think that's around a tier break.
Yeah, I don't have Kenny Pickett in with the top guys even in Superflex. So for me, it's 106.
No. I still think with the first round draft capital, he's worth going in that range.
No,
because he's going to get the opportunity. He's got the weapons.
No, so here's kind of how I see it. It's like
he's going to carry value in a Superflex league.
Okay, so where's Mac Jones's ADP?
I can tell
Where's
you.
Mac Jones's ADP? Because I think that's the best case scenario. If Kenny Pickett hits, he's not as good, not even close to as good of a prospect.
It was like Mac Jones, but with weapons, right?
I think he's more mobile than Mac Jones.
I mean,
I think he's a lot more mobile, a lot quicker than Mac Jones. I think he can absolutely put some damage in the running game.
Mac Jones is 45 overall right now.
Where?
45 overall right now.
Yeah, but if that's Pickett's ceiling, I'm just not interested.
Which is right before DJ Moore. So if you could take DJ Moore at 107, would you do that? Do it?
Yes, but that's his. But if that's his ceiling, what if he's bad? If he's bad, the problem with Kenny Pickett is you can say he's mobile, but he's not. He's not. He didn't run. He did not put up rushing statistics in college to say that he's going to. Why is he going to put up rushing statistics in the NFL? He did not put up significant rushing statistics in college that would help us.
Even if he doesn't, though, he's got Najee, he's got Deontay, he's got Claypool, he's got Pat Bryant.
We say this all the time, don't we?
Yeah.
But we say this all the time. How did that work out for Drew Lock?
He's also got first round draft capital.
Right, but how did this work out? We said too many weapons can't fail. He totally failed. Like, it doesn't work that way. No matter how many weapons you have, you can still fail if you're not good.
Drew Lock was a second round, I think.
Right, but people were into him because he had a good finish to the season, and they added Jerry Jeudy and KJ Hamler. He had so many weapons, but the whole house of cards fell down because he sucks.
Well, believe it or not, though, he's going to have that value. Like I think he's going to carry value in a super flex league that'll allow you to, if you're not, you could flip him at some point because he's going to get the starting job. He's going to get some hype.
I hear you. If Mac Jones had more value now, the value I give him, I would be more into Kenny Pickett, but he doesn't. Despite the fact that Mac Jones was a better prospect than Kenny Pickett, had a successful rookie season, made the playoffs, is going to be a long time starting in the NFL. He still doesn't carry the value at all. He just doesn't. He doesn't carry the
like Mac
value.
Jones last year either.
Who wasn't?
Nobody liked him. I mean, everybody thought that was going to be the stupidest pick San Francisco ever made.
Nobody. No, I was the one who said they should start Mac Jones from the beginning.
He was going late first in Superflex.
Right, but I was all in on him then. Like, I was the one who wanted them to start Mac Jones from the beginning. So, like, Mac Jones would easily be the QB1 in this class by a mile. He would have been a top 5 pick if he were coming out this year. He would have been a top 5 pick coming out most years. He just picked the one year that had a lot of good quarterback prospects.
Let's see.
That's what I think. I just don't see it with Kenny Pickett for me. I don't like to chase. I'll chase him if I can get him a little later, but chasing at the top, I don't see it. I mean, wide receivers have upside too. I mean, all of the top 4 wide receivers have a lot of upside to me. And Treylon Burks,
but we're talking about in that 7-8 range is what.
But I would pick him at 7. It's just he's in the tier down after the top. Like, I have him in tier down from the top wide receivers. That's all. I have the top wide receivers in a higher tier.
Yeah,
because I see them as having legitimate. Like, to me, Kenny Pickett will never be a top 3 startup round pick because if Mac Jones isn't, and he made the playoffs in his first year, he's really good. He locked down. I mean, I think people think that Mac Jones is going to have a starting job for years, and he's not anywhere near the top. He's not near the top 3 rounds of ADP. Then those receivers have a higher ceiling than Kenny Pickett does. They do. If he didn't make it, he's never going to be a rushing threat. Not for our purposes. 200 rushing yards a year does not count. That's not good enough.
If he got traded to Pittsburgh tomorrow, would we feel differently about Mac Jones?
I'd feel better.
I mean, I think I'd feel better.
I'd feel a lot better.
I think I'd feel better.
I'd feel a lot better. The Patriots just don't get based on his rookie season, they don't want to give Mac Jones the opportunity to throw the ball. And I feel like in Pittsburgh, they would do that with him.
I do too.
Yeah. I just,
Mac Jones, I'd feel a lot better about for fantasy.
Grant pointing out we were 20 messages deep, 7 minutes before the show.
We're going to be more behind than ever. With 3 people, we're only going to be more and more behind, not more and more ahead.
I'm going to try my best to keep pushing us along here. Henry has 3 rookie drafts starting Saturday, another 4. Hutch, if you don't know, Henry is famous for having over 100 dynasty leagues. And how he manages that, I don't know. But yeah.
I can barely manage like my 5.
No doubt.
I mean, on some level, I manage hundreds, but I don't actually have to go in and click the buttons.
Henry's trying to avoid a repeat of 2016 when he had the 102 and took Treadwell over Derrick Henry or Michael Thomas.
It happens. N'Keal Harry happened. I mean, it's going to happen. There are going to be bad rookie picks every year.
There's a Treadwell in this draft. We just don't know who it is yet.
There's one of them. Yeah, one of them's going to end up being in Treadwell.
Yep.
It's going to be like that.
Yeah, if there is, it's probably
Treylon Burks. Yeah. He's just like he just can't separate. He doesn't get open on his routes. I mean, like I heard someone on a different live stream I was on for the draft. Someone said he plays like AJ Brown if AJ Brown was drunk when he was running his routes.
Oh my god.
Like that is exactly
great in Tennessee then.
It's perfect though. Like it really is perfect because he does have the size speed like AJ Brown does. He has that freak athleticism, but he just can't run routes. He just does not get separation at all.
Patrick saying, I always wanted to ask you guys how many leagues you play in. Real quick, how many leagues do you play in, Hutch?
Well, last year I played in 17, and that was too many. I just could not manage 17 leagues. I can't. I mean, I'm in high school. I just can't do it.
How about you?
I can't do it. I know that doesn't seem like a lot to some people.
Me?
I can't do it.
Oh, I'm basically retired. I mean, I don't personally I don't play, and if I do, you guys don't know it's me. I think the days of me playing the only leagues that, and I'll never play another one, where I play as me are Scott Fishbowl and Trade Addicts 8. I just feel, to be honest, I feel that I like creating content, and I feel bad when if I'm in a league as me, like I'm definitely competitive and I like to win and I'll do anything to win. And I just don't know how I feel about mixing the world of playing fantasy football and being a fantasy football content creator. So I do still play, but I don't play as, publicly recognizing that it's me.
I don't even know. I was in 20 something, and I don't know. I won 4 or 5 or something, and yeah, there were definitely some injuries. And
I only won I won like 2 last year, but yeah,
I actually won more best ball than I did dynasty leagues, which
I didn't even
I'm
play
not
any best ball.
typically
I
a
need
best
to get in
ball
on
guy.
best ball. I need to do this. I didn't get in on any best ball last year. I really need to do it.
Underdog.
Yeah, I need to get
That's
on.
right.
I should do that.
That's right.
Todd
says, since Baltimore didn't pick up or draft any major running back prospects, is it safe for him to like J.K. Dobbins again, Tyler?
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Not safe.
It's not.
I love J.K. Dobbins.
It's not, because we can't depend on the passing work, okay? Like, the passing work just doesn't seem like it's going to be there. And the Baltimore Ravens use a running back committee. Lamar Jackson takes attempts on the goal line. He takes rushing yards. If you're going to be in a running back committee and you're not catching passes, you're going to need to score touchdowns at a ridiculous rate to score any form of good fantasy points. Like, he's just going to be so touchdown reliant. It's going to be it's just going to be a huge headache. And you just don't want J.K. Dobbins coming off the ACL tear as well. Like, Dobbins is not someone you should be looking for as a running back too in fantasy football.
I've often wondered, like, okay, take the ACL tear, out of it. How exciting would last year have been for J.K. Dobbins? It would have been a great season, right? And right now the cost is not very high.
I would say he would have finished like RB 20 to 24.
He's not. I'm looking right now. J.K. Dobbins.
He's a top 24
going as the
back
RB 16. He's going one pick before Josh Jacobs.
Now RB 16 is fine.
Jacobs.
He should definitely go before Josh Jacobs. I don't.
What? Oh, I'd take Josh Jacobs.
No. Josh Jacobs.
I take Josh Jacobs.
We don't want any part of that.
I take Josh Jacobs.
No, but
yes. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We're talking Dynasty here. I forgot about. I was thinking
before I was with you.
Dynasty
before this week, I was with you. I was with you on Josh Jacobs, but things have changed. Things change in Dynasty. They change very quickly.
Yeah.
I expected the Raiders to exercise Jacobs' 5th-year option. They didn't do that. They didn't do that.
Scary.
They did not exercise this option, and they drafted Zamir White. Now, Zamir White is not going to ever be a fantasy asset. Zamir White is a waste of time. Mm-hmm. But Zamir White takes carries, doesn't fumble, and just boringly takes up a lot of time. He takes up a lot of time, and he takes up a lot of goal line work. We don't like that. That sounds bad. We don't want someone who's going to take if all he's going to take is goal line work and short yardage work and take up a lot of extra carries and slow everything down. Josh McDaniels, he comes from the Patriots, right? So the Patriots always have the same system, the same ridiculous, stupid system. Now, let's squint and take a look at this. I almost wrote this in the article I wrote about, the situation, but I decided not to go into the Patriots and the Raiders section, but we'll do it now. If you squint and look, Kenyon Drake, they phased him out of the rushing game last year and only used him in the receiving game. Now, this sounds like James White. Then we have the Zamir White. Zamir White has no receiving production at all. What does that sound like? Damian Harris. That sounds like Damian Harris. And then we have the other guy in the backfield. You have your James White, you have the Damian Harris, you have the LeGarrette Blount was in that role, the Mike Gillislee role, that role. And then you have the third role, which is like the Rex Burkhead, Dion Lewis, the one who gets kind of mixed in now. That is Ramondre Stevenson. That's going to be the Josh Jacobs role. Sometimes that guy is the starter. Right now, the starter is the Blount Harris role in the Patriots, but there have been times in the past where the mixed guy, the change of pace guy, is the one who gets the most touches. So I think that's what we're going to see with Josh Jacobs leading the committee, but he's going to be the one who kind of gets a little bit of everything. Zamir White is going to take just only rushing work, no receiving work at all, just kind of a bowling ball. And then you'll have Kenyon Drake, who really doesn't see any carries, but gets a little bit of passing work. And they restructured Kenyon Drake's contract, so they're underwater on his deal, so they won't be releasing him. So this year, you're going to have a messy committee. So I would even prefer Dobbins over Jacobs this year, let alone in Dynasty, where Jacobs is clearly on the way out the door. So yeah, things changed this week in a big way, moved Josh Jacobs way, way down my rankings. And I think that's an interesting point to make. And it is in the article. I did write the AFC West. I also wrote the NFC West, but I wrote the AFC West winners and losers. It'll be published soon on the DLF website, which I suggest everyone, go get your DLF subscription so you can actually see all of these articles that I always talk about. But they are, I did talk about this in good detail.
For what it's worth, when Josh McDaniels was head coach of the Denver Broncos, Noshawn Marino had 247 attempts and 41 targets.
That was 10 years ago. That was 10 years ago. I don't care about 10 years ago. I'm more interested in what happened last year.
I don't know how much of that was Belichick and how much of that was McDaniels. We don't really know. Sansa Lamb says 109.
Matt Patricia did. We know that Matt Patricia, coming from Belichick, tried to copy him. So we do know that.
109 or Judy, 12-team Superflex.
Let's see. So that's going to be, I'll take Judy.
Yeah, Judy. That one of those top two receivers are not going to be there. The running backs are going to be gone. So 109, I mean, you're not looking at names good enough to give up for Jerry Judy.
Jacob Johnson says the Devonta Smith value right now is disrespectful. Can't even get a 24 first and a 2022 second.
You shouldn't be able to. Why would anyone pay that? Why would you pay that? I don't understand what the point of paying that would be. Why would you give up a future first for someone who you're never going to be able to use? How are you going to be able to use him in fantasy? I don't understand how you're going to be able to do that.
Man, you think so too, Hutch?
I disagree here. I mean, I'm trying not to be biased as an Eagles fan, but I know Tyler's argument. I feel like I'm see it coming. But I know he's probably going to talk about Jalen Hurts, low passing pie volume, and just not the great passer that Jalen Hurts is. And that's fine. But we're either going to see a step forward from Jalen Hurts this year, or we're going to see a 2023 quarterback drafted. And we're going to get one of these great quarterbacks. Like, the Eagles have 2 2023 firsts, one of them being the Saints and one of them being their own pick. They're going to be able to use those 2 picks to trade up and get a quarterback if Jalen Hurts really does not prove it this season. So at some point in time in the very near future, they're going to have a good quarterback to use. Well, and then Devonta Smith will probably be the second option on the team. I'll give you that, which really caps his upside for fantasy. But there is just in the near future, they're going to have a good quarterback, and it's going to help Devonta Smith get fantasy relevant. So I would absolutely take a Devonta Smith over a 2024 first easily.
If you go and look at Lamar Jackson's 2019 season, that's what successful looks like. That's what it looks like. That's what Jalen Hurts taking a step forward looks like. That would be what it looks like. Not more passing attempts, but better on the ones he takes and running more. That's what it would look like. And in that year, could you really use anyone in fantasy from that team other than, it was even worse. There was no A.J. Brown on that team. There was no alpha target hog to the same degree that A.J. Brown is, and you couldn't use anybody else. You could use Mark Andrews, and that was it. Hollywood Brown was inconsistent, and there was nobody else at all. So that was even worse. So there's just no way. There's no way, because a step forward doesn't mean more passing attempts. He could be that's actually my biggest fear, is that he's going to actually be good. He's going to be good, but the passing attempts are still going to be limited because they want him to run. And I do think that they need to get another running back. I think that's actually what they really need, is another running back. I don't see that they can, run the team the way it is with just Miles Sanders and nothing else. So I do expect Sony Michel or Darrell Williams to be there soon. But either way, just with the way the passing pie is, it's just not possible for Devonta Smith really to be any good. It
The
just isn't.
2020 Sorry, go ahead.
I think that you will see Devonta Smith out the door, just like Hollywood Brown. After 3 years, you'll see him completely out the door because they've already paid AJ Brown the big money, so he's their guy. And Devonta Smith, the second he can demand a trade, I think he will. That's what I think happens.
2021 Philadelphia Eagles were dead last in the league in pass attempts, but 100 more pass attempts than those 2019 Baltimore Ravens that you mentioned, who were also 32nd. But that was so low. That was just a completely different level of pass attempts by them. I think there's enough room for him to still be good. So I'm with Hutch on this one.
Yeah.
I'll take that side.
There's room.
Akash is also excited. Hutch is in the
Akash.
house. PJ, always got to get to this comment. Always excited when he gets in here because he always says this.
What's up, PJ?
Under no compulsion, by the way. Nobody has ever compelled him to say this for any reason. He speaks the truth. Cal's the
You
best
realize
fantasy
that we just
football
got to the
analyst.
comments after the show started now. We just
Yeah.
got to the comments that
Yeah.
were not in advance.
What's up?
How about make a trade in the Justice League? There's a Justice League?
Yeah, we're all like Marvel superhero team names, and we're all in the league together.
Wait,
But,
Marvel team names in a Justice
No, sorry, not
League?
not Marvel, just superhero names.
DC. Okay, DC.
Yeah.
Got to be DC.
Come on.
I think
You
it's
can't
just
make
Mar-
that
I think
mistake.
it's
You're
just
gonna get
superhero.
you're gonna get canceled.
I know I'm not like a huge like.
AG rookie drafts popping. Let's fun and go, or let's
Fun and
failure go. That is
Well, we
I'm
haven't
pretty
had
sure
any
that's what
failure
LFG
on this.
stands for.
We
Yeah.
haven't had any failure on this one yet.
How much do we love Skyy
Cool.
Moore?
I like Skyy Moore a lot. I really like him on the Chiefs. I just don't think he could have gotten a better landing spot. I am excited for him. I'm not a huge truther. I wasn't crazy with him coming out of college, but I'm willing to take him as a top 10 pick in Kansas City.
Me too.
He was a 44.8% college dominator and 39.5 target share in college. People don't realize how good of a prospect he is.
Yeah, he's crazy.
And then he lands with the Chiefs. People don't like him because he's 5'10".
People don't like him also because he went to Western Michigan and that's where Corey Davis came from.
Yeah.
FF Lefty. Yeah. Sorry. No. Tim O. Superflex. Lamar Jackson or 2 first rounders plus Tua.
Wow.
That's
so interesting. So it's 2 first rounders this year, I'm assuming, right?
I assume this means 2 2023 firsts. That's
2023.
Yeah, because
I'll take Tua then.
Yeah, I think
I
I just
believe
can't,
in
I
him
can't
enough.
pay that. Well, I don't believe in Tua, but I'm not paying this anyway. I
believe in Tua enough to the point where I will definitely take this deal. Because because Tua if Tua really takes that next step the next year, like he is going to be a top 10, top 8 fantasy quarterback, and he's going to be like a franchise quarterback you can have on your team. And if you can get 2 first rounders plus him, like that's amazing. And if these are 2023 first, if Tua really doesn't work out, you got a legendary quarterback class to work with here to replace Tua. Like I think this is a home run. I love Lamar, but I'll take
a home run. This is just okay, but the value feels like it's on the Tua side.
Yeah.
10 team 1 QB. What's Travis Etienne's trade value?
Well, comparing it to this year's class, I mean, I would rather have the top 6 guys and then Etienne next. So
yeah, that first tier wide receiver and 107 and the 2 running backs. Yeah, I'll probably agree there.
Akash is here to ratio us.
Yeah.
It's me, Yeppers. Awesome show. Taco Tuesday, Waffle Wednesday. You know we're in the house.
Yeah.
Are you going to hate that every time I do it, Tyler?
Hate what?
Oh, it's not playing, is it?
It's not playing. We're just
I did it again. Oh,
you
no.
really think I would just do that?
I did. Gosh, did it again.
Come on. I was like, what are you talking about?
Shoot. Jesse Riddle, how much would you need to move back from the 109 or 111 to 202 in a 12-team Superflex? I asked for a future second on top of the 202, said it was too much.
I mean, that's okay. I guess if it's too much, then don't move back.
I think a 2023 second is probably around the value I'd look for, or a late 2022 second. That's probably what I'd look for.
Yeah.
It's probably different if we're talking 109 or 111, right?
Yeah, they are different. I mean, very different.
They are very. I think they're definitely.
Well,
There's
they're not
definitely
that
a
different,
difference.
honestly.
I think there's definitely a difference here.
I think I'm more likely to like the deal you can make with the 109 than the deal you can make with the 111, if that makes sense. But yeah, generally also, I will say, to get best answers in the live chat, be very specific.
Yes. Yeah, that's definitely helpful.
Be very specific. The more specific the question, the easier it is to answer.
PJ Kennedy just traded Dobbins, gave away 108, and Devonta Smith 408 and 505.
That
you like that one?
Seems a little much. I mean, that's too much for me. Devonta Smith and the 108. I mean, that's
a lot.
I don't see why I would do this. I'm not so excited for Dobbins, so I'll take the Smith side, even though I don't like Smith either.
This is the 108. Yeah,
I'll take that side.
You don't see what the value could be. He's going to be the starting running back on the team that's going to have the most rushing attempts in the league next year.
I mean, it doesn't matter though, because the music committee, they don't throw their running backs. It doesn't matter if you're not getting. It doesn't matter.
He's going to make up with better yards per carry by having Lamar Jackson as his quarterback, which is proven when Devonta Freeman was getting decent yardage. Tyson Williams, who wasn't good, was getting good yardage.
It doesn't matter. Like say he gets like 15, let's say he gets like a really solid 15 rush attempts in a game, right? Because I feel like that's what we look at him for, or even less. He averages like 5 yards a carry, has a great game. That's like 75 yards.
All right,
and that's 7.5 points. If he doesn't score a touchdown, he's not getting you anything.
How many targets a game is Devonta Smith going to get?
6
this year? I think around 6.
What about
I think 6 or 7 is fair.
The 108. I just think that the upside to me is
the other thing about Devonta Smith, and the reason I didn't drop his value that far, is because similar to Hollywood Brown, everyone says I dropped Hollywood Brown off the map, but I really didn't drop Hollywood Brown off the map. The reason I didn't drop him off the map was because I thought he was good, and if eventually something occurred and he got out of that situation, then all of a sudden now I could be all in on him. So I'm not just going to dismiss a player that's talented. I don't have any issue with Devonta Smith as a player.
T Murphy, 12 team Superflex, full PPR, tight end premium, traded the 106 and 2006.
It's got to be 206.
206.
It's got to be 206. For the 104 and 208, I selected Burks at the 104. How did I do?
Works for me. I mean, you moved up 2 spots in the first round to move down 2 spots in the second round. So I'm good with it.
Yeah, I'll take that. Absolutely.
I'll take that for sure.
That's a great move.
Who'd that do? True or false?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I don't know who was available at 104 but I feel like there might have been a receiver that I would have preferred at 104 over Burks. Because I feel like Burks is probably like the last of the receivers for me. Because I feel like the quarterback controversy in Tennessee, Derrick Henry probably on the way out. This offense is probably going to go through a bit of a rebuild for the next couple of years, and I'm not loving that. So I feel like Trey Burks at the 104 might have been a reach based on some of the other guys that could have been available.
I have Burks at 3 among receivers.
I think that's fair. I think I'd put him below Jameson Williams. I think I'd still have Jameson Williams above him. I love Jameson Williams.
I've generally seen, just with what people are preferring, it seems like London is the choice, and then the other 3 are all very close.
I've seen London go 101 in the league. I'm in a league where he went 101. I got Bruce Hall at 102.
I have Wilson as the first choice, but
okay.
I haven't seen many people pick Burks at 1. Well, okay. The only people I've seen really pick Burks at 1 are like people who are very confident that their process is right. And I generally
he is a real freak athlete. He is a crazy freak athlete. His speed for his size is unreal. He just needs to develop some footwork and just figure out how to freaking get open, because he can't.
I know.
True or false? Who that dude says, for the first time, we got a legit wide receiver 2 in New Orleans.
That's right. Yeah.
Agree, Tyler?
I like legit? Olave, but I'm not sure that Thomas is coming back anytime soon or is going to be good again. So
yeah, he might be a number 1.
He might be the one.
Yeah, he might be the one.
Recovering Ridley Truther, yo guys, South Philly born and raised. Welcome, Ty. What a week. Who would you rather have moving forward, DK or AJ Brown? And it must be Devonta Smith or Elijah
Devonta
Moore
or Elijah
in
Moore.
Dynasty Superflex.
Wow. That's interesting.
It's easy. It's easy for me. I mean, I'd rather have AJ Brown. I'd rather have Elijah Moore. These are easy. They're not very close to me.
Yeah, I think I'm with you here. I think I'm gonna be with you here. AJ Brown, I'll take Elijah Moore, but I think both are closer than Tyler thinks they are. I think both are
I
closer.
want DK. Yeah, I want DK.
Why?
I want AGB.
Why do you want DK?
Honestly, I think Metcalf is a more talented receiver than AJ Brown, and I think he's gonna have less. I don't know. I feel like he's just gonna be a great fantasy receiver. He's a ginormous red zone threat that's always there in the deep game, similar to AJ Brown. But I don't know. I think DK is a great wide receiver. I feel like he's gonna find his way to make fantasy points.
Who plays with a better passer, Tyler?
Drew Lock is not. Don't
AJ
say
Brown. AJ Brown plays with a
don't-
better passer.
Don't disrespect Geno Smith. It's Geno Smith.
No.
DK was the wide receiver
guys.
with Geno Smith.
If
as
any of
his
you say
quarterback.
that the Seattle quarterbacks are better passers than Jalen Hurts, I might lose it. They're not. They're not, guys.
Sean, hey y'all, Dobbins and A-Rob or AJ Brown.
AJ Brown.
It's
This is
AJ
not.
Brown
This is not a question.
Yeah,
this is
Probably AJ Brown.
Yeah, it's easily AJ Brown. Yeah.
Do you like Rashad White?
Nope.
Or David Johnson, maybe. David Johnson?
No.
The new David Johnson?
No.
Yes, I'm going to end up with so much Rashad White.
Why? What is there to like about him?
I don't know.
Because I think he's David Johnson. Who drafted David Johnson?
I don't care who drafted David Johnson. What difference does that make?
Well, he's got a 98th percentile target share coming from college. That's who Arian sees him as. He's still involved with that front office.
It's great. It's great that he did that. It's great that he did that at 22 years old against younger competition. At 22 years old, he was able to do that. It's so impressive to me that when he was older than everyone else, he didn't do anything before that, nothing at all. But then at that point, he comes in and suddenly he's good when he's older than the rest of the competition, more mature. That type of thing. How often does that player ever work out? How often does that running back ever hit the one who didn't do anything until they were ancient? Who does that sound like? How many failures have we had from that archetype? I mean, you can just go a failure after failure after failure after failure. As a wide receiver,
you're getting him mid-second.
He's not
You're
going.
Not taking him
but
with
he's
a 106.
not going in the mid-second.
He is.
No, he's not.
I've seen him go in the first.
He's not.
I won't have.
I've seen him go number 12.
Yeah, he's going in the first.
He's got an ADP of 16.
He's not. He's not going
the
first.
From where does he have an ADP of 16?
Hang on, I'll go check what. Yeah,
well, that's April. That doesn't matter. April is irrelevant.
I don't think he's going.
We're not on April.
I think other people have jumped him though. Like he's been jumped. Like by James Cook has jumped him.
Well, yeah, I'm not. The thing is, I'm not crazy against him, but I'm not for him anyway. Like
I'm not overly against him either.
No,
but I don't think he's going in the mid-second.
It's just why. Like, I don't think you need to take him. There are a bunch of wide receivers going in his range that seem a lot more valuable to me. There are a few running backs I'd rather have than him that are going later than him. Like I'd rather have Dameon Pierce right now.
Well, I would not rather have Dameon Pierce, but
I'd rather have Dameon
Pierce is a not good prospect who, didn't go on day 2. He went on day 3. So I get why you would like him, but I don't want to spend a premium pick on Dameon Pierce. I thought Rashad White was a better prospect than Dameon Pierce.
Yeah, I won't spend a premium pick, but if you just gave me the vacuum, like if both of them fell the late second round, I'll take Dameon Pierce over Rashad White.
Rashad White or Isaiah Spiller?
Oh, Rashad White.
Rashad White or David Bell?
I would do Rashad White.
Rashad White.
Rashad White or John Mechie? John Mechie.
Not John Mechie.
Rashad White or Wan'Dale Robinson?
I think I'd say John Mechie.
Rashad White.
Okay.
Sorry, what was that last one?
Those are the people going below him in ADP. It's on sleeper right now.
Wait, what was that last one?
I don't hate him as much as I thought.
Wan'Dale?
Mm-hmm.
I think I might take Wan'Dale.
Yeah, I'm not interested in Wan'Dale.
Gross.
I'll take Wan'Dale.
Okay. Man, it is really going off. We gotta try to fly through this here. Okay.
I mean, catching up is not mandatory.
It's not. Drops. Oh, they're loud. Okay, I'll try not to do as many. Sorry, Lefty. Let's see. Devonta Smith or Hollywood Brown.
It's easy.
Here we go.
Yeah, it's not close. It's Hollywood Brown by a lot.
Yes,
it's probably I'll take Hollywood, but I love Smith, but it's Hollywood.
Finally, Tyler likes Hollywood Brown. I love it.
I always liked Hollywood Brown.
You hated him. You hated his
No,
guts.
I didn't.
Yes, you did.
That's false information. That's not true. It's not true. I was the one who, the reason why I was so out on Rashad Bateman was that I just didn't assume that Rashad Bateman was going to come in and be better than Hollywood Brown. That's why I didn't like Rashad Bateman during the 2021 rookie season. That's why I was so vehemently against him. So I've never said that Marquise Brown is bad. I've never said that he
I'm messing with
is.
you.
No, I know, but the people don't know that.
Marco says 10-team Superflex Tua, Jacobs in the 105 for the 101, 201, and Deontay Johnson.
Oh, also, if the people want to know, I heard Ryan McDowell say on, I think it was Locked On Dynasty, that he had Marquise Brown ranked at Dynasty wide receiver 21. I have Brown at wide receiver 22. So we're in very close alignment, whereas I have Devonta Smith at 29. So 7 spots lower.
Where did he go?
That's fine. I'll take over.
All right.
All right. From Marco, 10-team Superflex. Oh, you're back.
There he is. And he's muted.
And you're muted.
No, I just read that one. Answer Tua Jacobs 105 for the 101, 201, and Deontay.
Got it. Okay.
I'm fixing my lighting. Hang on.
Things are being fixed. Okay. While things are being fixed, I will help us. So the 101 here is worth more than Tua in a 10-team Superflex. And then I'd rather have Deontay.
I mean, assuming that's Breece Hall. Like
it is.
Breece Hall is worth more than Tua.
It will be. Yeah, it's worth more than Tua. And then, I'd rather have Deontay and the 201 over. I mean, the 105 is not bad.
105, you're getting like Treylon Burks or Jameson.
Yeah, this
Williams,
offer is pretty fair.
I think it's a pretty fair trade. I think it's a pretty fair trade, but I feel like I might take Tua because of the super flex, and I feel like that potential.
Yeah, but it's only 10 teams.
But it's so close.
Since it's only 10 teams, I'll take Hall and to the 101 side.
Yeah.
If it were a 12-team super flex, I might go your way. But since it's only 10-team, Tua I'm just not interested. Like in a 10-team super flex, I'm like, okay, Tua is like a whatever asset. I'm just not that excited. There's no quarterback scarcity. I'm not clamoring for a blah quarterback too. I mean, I don't see any ceiling with Tua. I see
interesting
middling. Ugh. I mean, I see him as someone who's going to hold back the weapons that he has, not someone who's going to contribute and make them better. I see him as a negative. So I don't
see. It wasn't only me that thought you hated Hollywood. Eric thinks that too. What's up, Eric? Appreciate you tuning in.
What did I do? I suggested people buy Hollywood.
He says, hit me with another firstborn nugget. Okay. Enjoy every moment as it is. Don't just sit there every single moment waiting for the next one. So if they're in diapers and they're crawling, don't be like, oh, I can't wait till they walk. Oh, I can't wait till they can do this. Oh, I can't wait till they can do this. Enjoy every moment for exactly what it is, because it's going to end.
That's good advice for life, not just like that's not just good advice for your, for your newborn kid.
Yep.
That's good advice for life.
Yeah.
Yep. You're only going to get those moments one time with each one of those kids.
It never comes back.
So, mate, if I'm trying to upgrade from Gibson to Najee, what would you add?
Yeah, this is the kind of question, again, a little vague. Like, I have no idea what you have in your roster. I don't know. I don't know how to answer this. I mean,
let's look at it from the other side. If you had Najee and you were offered Gibson, what else would you need?
I'm not taking Gibson. I'm not taking Gibson.
You're just not taking him?
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm not going to take him at more than 60% of his value. So essentially, that means I'm not taking him.
I think, oh man, that's so tough. I don't want to say a first because I feel like that'd be a lot to add to Gibson to get Najee, but
I mean, you're not going to, if you're not offering a first,
your
offer is not going to get there, and a first isn't even enough. So,
okay, would you add
Rashad Bateman?
Oh, really?
I'd still rather have Najee than Bateman and Gibson. So this offer is never happening.
I mean, Bateman and Gibson.
Yeah, I'd rather have Najee
yeah, Bateman
than
and
that.
Gibson first.
Yeah, Gabe
or
Bateman.
Najee. Okay, there you go.
Yeah,
Najee.
I think, yeah.
That's Najee.
Alejandro, 16 teams, Superflex, 112 and 201, or Elijah Mitchell. This is easily Elijah Mitchell.
Elijah Mitchell. But that might be controversial.
That's rookie draft love right
Probably
there.
Elijah Mitchell. Yeah, I'm not the craziest fan of Elijah Mitchell, but I think I'll still take him.
It's more reasonable than it looks, but I'll take Elijah Mitchell.
Yeah,
You're taking like Rashad White and like
if that were like
Wandale Robinson.
If that were like
like you're not taking anybody.
If that were like 110, I would like it a lot better.
Yeah, if you could get like if it was like 108, 19, you can maybe get like Skyy Moore or like Christian Watson. I might take.
Right.
I might take.
Or Chris Olave would be great.
Or Chris
If I could somehow
Olave,
get
yeah.
him, yeah.
DeAndre Hopkins or a second.
I don't want any part of DeAndre Hopkins.
I don't want. Nope, I'm done.
No, I'm done.
Done with him.
Yeah, I'll take. At this point, I think
I've kind of been out forever. I've kind of been out for a while.
I'm not sure I've been as out actually maybe as you, but now this is like a last straw moment for me. So
yeah,
and honestly, I look at where I have him ranked, and I think it's still too high. So I'm good with taking a second, I suppose, but there's really no.
I'd look for more.
You should look for more. There's really no risk in sitting on him unless he gets hurt
his value,
when he's not playing.
His value right now can't get much worse. I mean, he's been suspended for 6 games. He's coming off a down season. Like you'd be selling pretty low.
At the very least, there's essentially since he's suspended, he's not even going to play. I would wait until he's like week 5. Don't wait to see it. You don't want to see it.
Yeah, you don't want to see it.
And he's bad, then it's over.
Wait for the hype to build when we get to
try like week 4 or week 5.
Yeah, that's when
but
you try.
Now I just feel like what are you gonna? No one's gonna trade for.
Yeah,
DeAndre
I don't want him on my team, but you just have to keep him. This is just you're not getting any value that's worth it here. So
I would definitely sell for a future second and get him off my roster.
I would not do that.
How do you feel about flipping Najee and Ayuk for Waddle and a first in 2023?
Waddle and a first for sure.
Yeah, Waddle and a first, easy.
Yeah,
especially when 2 years away, you don't want Najee.
Yeah,
go the other way. Going through that now. Yeah, trying to go from that's what we were talking about earlier. Grind for goal by league absolutely loves the running back position. As a result, I have faded away from them, focusing on the other positions. Try to buy low on Fournette, Connor. I mean, that's pretty much what you should be doing anyway, right? Focus on wide receivers, get these buy low running backs.
Build around stud wide receiver cores is what you do in Dynasty.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I always do that.
Yeah. That's what you do.
Yep. Zig when they zag. Yep. Ryan Pros. What's up, Ryan? Just tuned in, excited for Taco Tuesday. Also excited to see Hutch. Didn't expect to see me here. Let's go, Hutch.
Yeah, I don't think anybody knew other than the 3 of us.
No one knew besides us 3. You said like a secret special guest on Twitter.
Yeah, so I didn't. I don't think I told anyone.
No.
Akesh. Rashad White.
Oh, we have a special guest for next week too. But I can leave it a surprise.
Oh yeah, leave it a surprise.
Tyler, I need you to go up in the chat to this around this point with 814. It's doing that weird thing again where it skips a whole bunch of them because we had so many and we got so far behind.
Okay, I got it. But I got it. I'm there.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. We have this question right now.
Yeah.
So it was Jameson. I traded a third to move up to get Pickett 2. That sounds good, depending on what the trade was. It's a little hard to follow, but
yeah, that was from earlier. That was the one we pulled up, the super chat.
You want me to take over?
Yeah, because I can't see anything between 814 and 855.
Okay. Oh, you mean time difference? I got it. You meant 9:15.
9.
Yeah, for me. Okay. So, but you want to keep reading them?
Yeah. PPR 1QB. Would you take a 2023 second and Corey Davis from Michael Carter? Should I wait and cash out if Priest goes down?
Oh, I'll just take a second at this point.
I'll take a second from Michael Carter.
Corey Davis. Yeah.
In fact, you can get a 20. In fact, you can get a second in a 2023 class. That's easy.
Yeah, I think that's
Michael Carter.
I did not drop Michael Carter into oblivion, but I'll take a second.
I think this year Michael Carter will be pretty involved, but I think second year is when we see Paul kind of take over.
It's less that. It's more like Alexander Mattison has no value while Dalvin Cook is playing, but he still has value. He still has dynasty value.
Yeah.
And Michael Carter is better than Alexander Mattison significantly to me. Younger.
Interesting.
And, I think has more of a chance to see some work, and I think would be better if he actually had the role consistently than Alexander Mattison was.
I think Mattison as a built workhorse back is a lot better than Michael Carter.
He's just bad. That's the problem. I think Alexander Mattison is bad.
I don't think he's that bad.
I got it back. I got it back. Okay. Matthew, Miles Sanders, Bateman 209, and a late 2023 second for 2023 third, and DJ Moore.
This is an interesting trade. Bateman's gained a lot of value with the Hollywood Brown trade, but it's still not too much because the ceiling's still capped. For me,
I see that. I don't see a huge side that I want here, but I think with all the different pieces on the left side, you're getting a lot more potential because Miles Sanders would go to a new team where he gets a lot more opportunity. Bateman takes a very nice step. Maybe you get, I don't know, maybe you hit the 209 or the 2023 second. Like maybe you hit on one of those guys. Because DJ Moore to me, honestly, because I'm just so I
love
know
DJ Moore.
Because he's not going to be great. He's not going to be great without a great quarterback. And they drafted Matt Corral, which means I don't see them drafting a 2023 quarterback if they're going to give Matt Corral a shot.
They totally could. Yeah, they totally could draft it.
But I see it as much less likely now.
Oh, I don't. I don't think that Matt Corral... The only way that they don't draft the 2023 quarterback or pick up another quarterback is if Matt Corral is so good that he'd have to be a minimum of Davis Mills good, and probably better because the Panthers are more trigger happy. They tried everything to get a quarterback this offseason and nobody wanted to go there.
Yeah.
So, but in this case,
I mean, they had the opportunity 6th overall to grab a quarterback and they didn't do it.
That's true, but I think that they didn't really see Kenny Pickett as helpful.
Or Malik Willis.
Well, that's true. No, go back to that.
206. Oh, sorry.
If I could get rid of Miles Sanders, and I knew I could get like an early second for Miles Sanders, I would take that side. But if I were stuck with Miles Sanders, that side's less appealing.
Fant and 206 for Komet.
What? I don't understand why the 206 is with Fant. Fant is worth more. Komet has never done anything.
Nicholas says, what's up? What's up, Nicholas? He's at 103. Hall in London will be gone, is what I'm hearing. Would you rather Walker, Burks, or Wilson? Walker for me.
Walker, yeah. We've answered that one quite a few times.
Yep, it's Walker.
Yeah.
Leave trade window for Rondale Moore. Thankfully, we have 2 shares.
Yeah.
Can you get a 2023 third? I mean, is that the best offer?
No, you should be able to get more than that.
You should be able to get more. I won't sell for a third.
100%. You should be able to get more than that. You got to hold him at that point. I would look for at least
I'm holding out for a second. I'm holding out for a second.
Jaden, don't do this. Bateman and 201 for 106. Don't do that.
That seems a little extreme. I don't think that that's necessary.
That's not worth it. No, that's not worth it.
Yeah.
What if that was like the 206? Like you'd be moving up.
That's more appealing. That's more appealing. If I could get Jameson Williams.
Yeah, like Bateman and the $2.06 for Jameson. Like, who are you getting at the $2.06?
I'd rather have Jameson Williams than Bateman in the 206.
Yeah, we talking about like Rashad White, like Rashad White, Wan'Dale Robinson, right? John Mechie.
I'll take Jameson Williams, the player I believe in a lot more.
Yeah, I'll take Jameson Williams, but 201 I think is a little aggressive because 201 you can still get a pretty valuable player.
Am I reading this like so? You're saying you would rather have all of the wide receivers, basically those top few, over Rashad Bateman?
Easily. Yeah. Why wouldn't I?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would. No.
Rashad Bateman,
if he was in this draft, you wouldn't take him at the 102?
No.
No chance.
No.
I would.
No chance.
Why?
I feel like
why? I mean, he's not a better prospect than those guys.
He'd be right on the outside. He'd be probably at 107, 106, 107. He'd be right there.
Okay. Did it start up with 3? I don't know what is that? 3RR? I'm not sure what that is.
Third round reversal.
Oh, gotcha.
There it is.
There we go. Voted to do a rookie order Oppo to start up, which I found odd. Then the commissioner set the rookie draft to a 3-round reversal. Confused by this? What do you think?
What? The rookie?
Yeah, I don't like that.
No, I don't like any of this. This sounds... No.
I don't like third-round reversal. Like, I think that I hate third-round reversal.
I don't like it either.
I don't like any of this.
I don't like that.
If you're going to do... First of all, if you're going to do a separate rookie
everything
draft,
is wrong about this question.
Yeah, everything is wrong. I agree.
Everything
it's all bad. Everything is bad.
All bad.
if you're going to do a separate rookie draft the rookie picks in the startup. Or you can just draft the rookie players in the startup with the veteran players, which I kind of like. For me, if I'm doing the startup draft pre-draft, I want to draft the rookie picks in the startup. If I'm doing the startup draft post-draft, I just prefer to have everything combined of veterans and rookie players all in one. Now, those are my preferences for startup drafts during the offseason. At this point, I just prefer to have one startup draft.
Would you trade the 101 for 104 and 110 in a 10 team?
101 for 104 and 110.
No.
Because,
No.
you're not going to get – because the problem is at the 1-4 – because at the 101, you're getting the running back of the class, and that's Breece Hall. You're getting the guy – like, is a very scarce running back class this year. Like, there's only a couple guys that you really, really want. Otherwise, it's a pretty scary group. At 104 and 110, you're not going to get one of those guys. You're not going to get Walker. You're not going to get Hall. But you're going to get two solid wide receivers. I think you probably could get Treylon Burks and Skyy Moore with 104 and 110. Which is
if you could get Walker and like
if you
Skyy
can
Moore,
get
maybe.
Walker and like Skyy Moore or Christian Watson or somebody like that, I would take that trade. But
it
I
just
don't
depends on how
Walker
lucky
there.
you feel. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not getting
Still
Walker
won't.
there. No chance.
Still won't do it. Still won't
I'll
do
take.
it.
You still want to do that?
No.
Okay. I would take it.
I'd
Walker
want
is at
at
104.
least. I'd want at least Walker and Olave to even consider it.
Interesting.
108 and 110 for 103 in a 12-team Superflex.
So that's okay. So that would be getting probably one of the wide receivers. And for me, Garrett Wilson.
It'd probably be getting your first choice at wide receiver.
First choice,
fourth, fifth Walker.
versus Olave and Skyy Moore or Watson.
You could get Walker at 3.
You
as
could.
well. Someone takes their
doesn't
shot
really
at wide
change-
receiver.
Honestly, that doesn't really change my thinking though. Not
too much, yeah.
I'll still go with the one player I like
Me too.
and keep the 103 there.
That's below the tier where we are excited.
And they also have 101 too, so they already have Breece Hall.
Okay, so Bella has in a 12-team Superflex PPR, I have both AJ and Devonta. QBs are Brady, Rodgers, and Winston. How aggressive should I be targeting Hurts in a trade at the 104 as a starting point?
Well, remember that we don't target stacks. We don't worry about having too many players on the same team, but we don't specifically go for too many players on the same team. So no more aggressive than you would usually be.
I'd give up. Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, you shouldn't be crazy aggressive. If you can get the if you can give up the 104 for Jalen Hurts, though, I would do that.
So would I.
In a heartbeat. I would do that easily.
Akesh got Deontay and Pickens. I got the 11
this is a
Waddle.
trade that happened a while ago.
This is a trade with Hutch. You have
we did this a while ago. I feel like I remember this. We did this a bit ago. But what do you guys think?
Deontay side.
Because right now looking at it, I want Deontay.
Yeah.
I want because now with Tyreek Hill, now with Pickens going to the Steelers, I want the Deontay side. So Akash, yeah.
I'll take the Deontay.
Waddle's the most valuable player in the trade, though, right?
Sure, but I'll still take the Deontay.
Yeah, sure. I think Waddle's the most valuable player, but
it's
I'll take.
Fair. I have some minor concerns about Deontay, but not major.
Yeah,
and I have concerns about Waddle now too.
I love George Pickens. I really love him.
Yeah, I don't, but I'll still take
I just think his physicality and his competitiveness is just going to, especially in the division now he's in, I feel like that's just going to take him to a different level. I really like Pickens in his landing spot with the Steelers, but I think I take the Deontay Pickens side, but I think it's overall not too bad for me.
I'm a little concerned about the Steelers actually, because it's a quarterback I don't believe in with a lot of weapons to allegedly support. It's a little concerning to me.
Tua or Pickett?
What?
Tua or Pickett? Who's the better
it's not even close.
Tua.
I just wanted Tyler to say Tua.
It's not even in his decision.
Tua is I don't think Kenny Pickett is good at all. So Tua, I think, is just mediocre. Whereas Kenny Pickett, I think, is actively bad.
You're hurting my feelings, man.
I honestly, on Twitter, I do that every day.
Hurt
someone's feelings at some point.
I don't know what an RB format is with 0.5 tight end premium. Where would
I
you
don't know what that means.
Pitts and Andrews in a 10-team league.
Well, I'd take Pitts in the first and Andrews in the second.
In a half tight end premium, I'd take both in the first.
You would?
Yeah.
I don't if I would. I don't think I'm going to take Andrews in the first there.
In a one quarterback league, I think I'd be willing to take both in the first round.
I just can't get
one
there.
running back.
I can't get there on Andrews. He's close, but he's just outside for me.
Yeah, they would both be like pick 8 and 9 for me. Like they would be right at the edge, but I'd be willing to take him the first.
Skyy Moore or Justin Ross and James Cook?
Skyy Moore.
Skyy Moore.
Well, Justin Ross is so irrelevant that I'll take.
Justin Ross is not really relevant. It's Skyy Moore.
I have James Cook close to Skyy Moore, but Justin Ross is worth 0, so I'll take Skyy Moore.
Yeah,
I think Pickett has legit possibility of being better than Mac Jones. PJ Smart.
I agree.
I completely agree. So not as a passer.
Was your worst rookie pick?
This might be ever. This might be.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, but I'm gonna be honest. Like, I have only played 1 year Dynasty. I've only played 1 year Dynasty. This was my first year, so I really haven't been able to see how those picks work out.
I have some whoppers. I have some whoppers. I have some bad.
I'm kind of out on this question. I've done a ton of research. I know the picks that are about to come out of your guys' mouth, but I'm kind of out on this question.
Oh, excuse me. It wasn't 100 Dynasty leagues. 140 leagues last year.
40.
But only 10 were Dynasty.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, my goodness.
Julius Chestnut, wheels up.
I don't know.
I know who that is. So
I'm
sleeping on him. Yeah.
Is this like
that
Dominic
might be
Elwood?
A made-up person.
I suggest drafting Dominic Elwood in your rookie drafts. I really think you should look into his college profile.
Who's the better fantasy season this year? Olave versus Moore. I don't know which Moore this is.
We need Moore. Which one?
I assume Skyy Moore because it looks like he's comparing rookies here.
Okay, if he's comparing rookies and I have to go for this year, I'll go with Olave.
It really wasn't a humble brag, Ridley. It was more that I just I don't remember. It's been a long time. A lot's happened since then. I have to go look. Dobbins to the moon. Yeah, I'm with you. Yes, yeah. Ed's with me. Thank you, Ed. I always feel smarter when Ed agrees with me.
Mm-hmm. So the thing about Olave versus Moore is if you look at it right now, Olave actually has a better path to targets right now.
Yes, he does.
I mean, they have nothing other than Michael Thomas and Kamara. They have nothing.
And Kamara might miss some games due with suspension.
And Michael Thomas and Kamara have major issues.
Yeah.
So Olave has a better path to targets right now, but Skyy Moore's path to targets going forward is good because Juju Smith-Schuster's on a 1-year deal. Travis Kelce is gonna decline unless he'd have to be the
better
best
quarterback, better offense. It's a better quarterback.
That's also true. But Travis Kelce's going to decline. I mean, every single tight end ever, the wheels have come off at 33. The wheels have just completely come off.
We're talking about specifically this year, not like Dynasty. Who would you rather have? Like we're talking about this year specifically.
Right. That's why I went with Olave. But
yeah.
The path from Moore, if you draft Skyy Moore, I do not think that you should be expecting Skyy Moore to have that much fantasy viability this year. I think he'll be okay. Yeah. I think this year you're going to see a lot of canceling out. Like if you told me that Juju Smith-Schuster finished at wide receiver, like if you told me this was the following happened for Kansas City. Travis Kelce is like tight end 2 or 3. Juju Smith-Schuster is wide receiver 30. Skyy Moore is wide receiver 35. Marquez Valdes-Scantling is wide receiver 40. And that is what happened with all 3 of those around there. And Travis Kelce is a top 3 tight end. You could have all of that happen and have Patrick Mahomes still as a top 5 quarterback with not having any single receiver be in the top 30. It is possible. And I think
we're almost an hour behind on questions, and the show's only an hour and 20 minutes long. I'm going to try and jump through these a little bit.
We don't have to get to every question. I mean, that's not.
But I'm going to try and answer as many as we
can. We have the super chat for a reason as well.
Alberto
or McBride?
It's McBride.
I just wrote about Alberto today, actually.
Alberto, no. Stop it with Alberto.
I'll take McBride.
Stop.
Fields, A-Rob, Knox for Hurts, Goddard, and 2023 second. Which side?
Let's see. I will
you get the stack with Hurts and Goddard, which is interesting.
Hurts side. I don't care about the stack, but I'll take the Hurts side.
Stacks are fun.
Fields? Yeah, I think I take the Hurts side.
Hill and 107 or Swift
really
and
worries
205.
Me, by the way. Like, really worries me.
Who? Fields is so concerning because the freaking Bears did not add a wide receiver. It really disappoints me. It's really sad because
they added Velus Jones. Jones is so good, right?
Justin Fields is really being set up to fail. I mean, their offensive line
is totally set up to fail.
Their offensive line is not great. They did not draft a wide receiver.
It's all bad. Everything is bad.
Everything is bad, and it's really bad.
I said this many times. They took an incompetent Ryan and a Matt and replaced them with another incompetent Ryan and a Matt and expected change. And there's no change there because the problem with the Bears is in the ownership suite.
They gave away Clem in the defense. They're gonna be a horrible team.
The problem with the Bears is in the ownership suite.
It is.
And until that problem is sorted, they're never gonna get their act together.
This feels disrespectful to Byron Pringle, and I won't stand for it. Cat Zero says
Byron Pringle's been arrested because he's driving around with a fake.
Oh God, sorry,
yeah, he's going to jail. So
I don't. Equanimity of St. Brown. That's who. Okay. I forgot about that. Gosh.
I forgot about him, but yeah, Byron Pringle is probably going to jail.
Who?
So.
Oh, sorry. Tyreek Hill at 107 for Swift and 205.
Swift.
Oh, that's so
take Swift.
I think I'll take the Swift. I'm done with Tyreek Hill. I don't want.
I was done. You can't be done with Tyreek Hill.
I'm kind of like done with him. I'm done with DeAndre Hopkins. Like I just don't really want a part of him anymore. I really don't think. I mean, I love Tua. I think he could be really good, but I feel like with Waddle there, I just don't love it. I really don't. I just have a bad feeling about it. He's 28 years old. Speed is usually the first thing a wide receiver loses. The Chiefs just sold him for a reason. So I feel like they're capitalizing while they can. I feel like Tyreek Hill's soon going to be fading out.
Well, I just didn't want to pay him the money.
Tyler Algier, the new running back in Atlanta, who they just dropped, Mike Davis.
Yeah,
I still don't have him that high.
That's not a bad flyer.
211. That's a pretty nice. I think that's a pretty nice draft pick. I think in the mid second, I'll look for him, but I won't. I don't think I'll draft him until like 207, 208.
I have other guys that I prefer.
There are other options there in the mid second, early second that are better.
Yeah, I still prefer Isaiah Spiller over him. And also because I just think Isaiah Spiller was a much better prospect. And then I would also, who was drafted earlier as well. And then I'd look at Tyrion Davis-Price over him as well. Even though he's not as good of a prospect. He was drafted in the third round to San Francisco. You never know. I'd take my chances. At least on a scheme that I trust. Whereas Atlanta, I don't know about that, how it worked out well last year.
Where does Wilson, London, Burks, where do they fit in a startup that has rookies and vets, Tyler?
Oh, you just want the rank? I'll just give it to you. Sure. So I have Wilson at wide receiver 16, London at 17, and Burks at 18.
Mm-hmm.
Among wide receivers.
Well, I mean, honestly, I'm going to be honest. I don't do like official dynasty rankings, so I can't give you any like ranks, but I feel like thinking about what Tyler's saying, I feel like in that mid, like wide receiver 2 range, I feel like that's around where I'd have them. I like all three.
Let's see. Here we go. Yeah, we're in LA. We're having tacos tonight. It's our thing. So happy Taco Tuesday. What can you get for Tyreek Hill and a 10-team super flex? We were just talking about him.
Well, we saw that trade earlier.
I mean, I'm pretty off on Tyreek Hill too. Probably not as much as you. It sounds like you might even be more off on Tyreek Hill than me.
I'm starting to fade him a little bit. I really am.
But with that being said, I don't know. I mean, I still want an early pick, right? I mean, I'd rather have Tyreek Hill over all but Breece Hall. So
really,
maybe I'm not. Yeah,
I think I'd have all of the top tier wide receivers. Kenneth
so
Walker,
you're just
and Breece
totally
Hall.
out. But that means you have Tyreek Hill around 20 then. If that's
I'd rather have all.
I might try to pivot. If I can pivot from Tyreek Hill, here's what I might try to do.
I just don't think that he has he's with a lot. I mean, look, Tua could be good, but he's not going to be Patrick Mahomes. Okay,
no, I agree with you. I agree with you, but I think they gave him a huge extension. He was not washed last year. He looked just as good. He didn't show any signs of decline at all. So I don't want to value him too low. But what I would look to do is my usual pivot down is someone like Michael Pittman, someone who some people don't like Michael Pittman. They have issues. So I would look and see a similar deal to what I recommended. Could you trade, maybe someone doesn't believe in Pittman, they're a contender. Could you trade Tyreek Hill and a 23 second for Pittman and a 23 first? Maybe that's what I would try.
I would do that.
Yeah, so that's a good idea, something I'd be looking to do. Or go to Godwin. To buy low on Godwin. I really believe in the talent of Godwin.
You give me either of those guys straight up to Tyreek Hill, I'm going to have to sit there and think for a little bit.
I wouldn't take them straight up because I have concerns, but maybe you could get the same offer with Godwin. I would like it even better. Could you get Godwin in 23 first for Hill in 23 second? In some leagues you can. So maybe try that. Those are some suggestions.
Yeah, I think that's a fair try.
Yeah.
12 teams, Superflex, PPR, 1 point, tight end premium, 103, 202, and a 2023 second or DK Metcalf.
DK Metcalf.
Still DK.
Yeah, DK.
Swift and Rogers for Watson, Elijah Mitchell, and Superflex.
So I'll take Swift, actually. Swift and Rogers.
Swift side.
Yeah, Swift and Rogers for me.
The Swift side.
Honestly,
I'm kind of like on the boat with Watson where I don't get why people think Watson's going to jump in when he starts and just go right back to where he left off.
Oh, I'm in that
I really
camp.
don't get why. I feel like some people are in the boat where he's going to jump right in and he's going to go back to where he left off. I just can't see that as possible. He's gone through so much this offseason. I mean, like, there's been so much different things. Like, I just don't see him coming back and being the guy we saw him ever being. I don't think we see the original Deshaun Watson ever again.
I don't agree, and you should know. You should know from your own team. I mean, Michael Vick, not nearly as good in any way as Deshaun Watson. Now, Deshaun Watson has been sitting out. He hasn't done anything. He's just done anything all year. I mean, he's done a lot of bad things, but he hasn't gone to jail. He hasn't done anything all year to, like, he's had the opportunity to work out. He's had the opportunity to train. He wasn't sitting in prison like Michael Vick. Michael Vick is sitting in prison for 2 years. And then suddenly he just comes back years later and is better than he was before. So that's after going to prison. Now, Deshaun Watson, my issue with Deshaun Watson has nothing to do with Deshaun Watson on the field. I actually fully believe that if and when he does return to play, that he will be great. I think he will be great.
I think he'll be a good I think he'll be a good quarterback, but I just see it as unlikely that
I don't see why I would
from day one.
Oh, I don't see why you would feel that way. I mean, there are players who miss a whole year for injury, and he didn't even get injured. Like, my issue with Deshaun Watson is that I still think that a significant suspension is on as a possibility. I mean, we saw in baseball, baseball is not the same thing. And this is my issue with Deshaun Watson. It's nothing to do with Deshaun Watson on the field. We don't agree on Deshaun Watson's potential on the field. But we saw baseball suspend Trevor Bauer, who also was not convicted of anything. And he didn't even have his civil lawsuits go through. And he received a 2-year suspension unpaid from baseball. Now, I'm not saying that Deshaun Watson is going to receive the same penalty. If it were up to me, he would. But it is possible. We really don't know what the NFL is going to do. The NFL's decision-making on these types of things is incredibly opaque. And, we just don't know. So my issue with Deshaun Watson is you could be hit with a 2-year suspension or, a lengthy suspension at any time. So that's my big issue with him.
Some of these rookies, let's talk some of those. 201, 206, 211, or 105? I think it's 105.
105.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with you guys.
James Cook, Dameon Pierce, and Rashad White. Rank them.
Let's see.
Cook, I think the order you have those three is pretty nice.
Cook, White, Pierce for me.
With that one, we want to thank
Dameon Pierce are right or close. Those two guys.
I want to thank Hutch for joining us here. Great, incredible insight, no doubt. I appreciate that. We're still going to go a little bit here, Tyler. Go a little bit overtime for the people.
I'm feeling good. I'll give the people as much overtime as they need.
I'm sorry, guys. I gotta hop out. My family wants me.
It's all good. We really appreciate you coming on, and we will definitely have you back on for another show very soon.
Oh yeah, it was
absolutely
fun. I'll see you around. It was fun answering questions, everybody.
All right.
Go get back to our Ask DLF deal here.
Oh,
So
yeah, we got to get a 3-person Ask DLF.
Yep, we did that one. This is the one we were on right here. How about Trey Lance compared?
I also hope that the people enjoy this new feature that we're going to have about having guests on the show. I already have one for next week. So,
awesome.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. Well, I'll try to get a lot of my DLF colleagues on here.
Trey Lance compared to the 2023 quarterbacks. How we feeling about that?
Oh, the 2023. Okay, I thought this was 2022 for a second. 2023. That's a tough question for me. I'm not a Devy guy, but I would say that Bryce Young and CJ Stroud would be comparable at worst, if not better.
Not that this says anything at all, I know, but like there's 6 quarterbacks that is where the over-under is right now on going in the first round in 2023. So it just depends on which one and how all that works out. There's just a lot to be sorted out. I would take Trey Lance now. If you're saying Trey Lance or a 2023 first, I'll take Trey Lance.
I totally agree with you.
How about James Cook? Is his size a concern? Got him at 203. Think that's a steal.
The size is a slight concern, but I'm not overly concerned. And the 203 is good value. I'm in on that.
It's fine. He was going 24th overall before the draft. I think
203 is good for me. I'll take him at the 203.
12-team PPR, 1 QB, 103, 202. Mooney for Godwin, 105. Who won?
Oh, well, 103 to 105 barely matters, so I'll take Godwin.
Absolutely.
Easy.
Top veteran running back to buy post-draft, J.K. Dobbins.
Good question. Veteran to buy post-draft. Cam Akers, maybe?
Yeah, there's a lot of people. And Elijah Mitchell, a lot of people worried about him.
Elijah Mitchell,
because
actually,
of
that's
that.
a good one. Yeah, if people are really scared about Davis Price, Elijah Mitchell actually is better than either Dobbins or Akers. Yeah, Elijah Mitchell would be the one I would buy him.
104 or Godwin.
Godwin, barely.
Happy Waffle Wednesday. What's up, Blake? He can't catch it, but catch it later. Make sure you hit us up. Charlie says, rate my draft. Give it the 102 for Elijah Moore. First pick was at 209. Got Spiller. Hassan Haskins.
I would not have given up the 102 for Elijah Moore. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, me neither. I like Elijah Moore, but no, where would you take Elijah? 105?
Elijah Moore is in that gap between Jamison Williams and Chris Olave, so 7.
Any major veteran losers?
Look at it, right? I mean, if you think about it, I think I'd rather have Jamison Williams over Elijah Moore. I mean, Jamison Williams just is so much more upside than Elijah Moore. But Chris Olave is kind of he was a meh prospect. Does Jamison Williams have more upside than Elijah Moore? Absolutely. Jamison Williams put up like 1,500 yards at Alabama. Elijah Moore didn't do anything like that.
After he had the transfer from Ohio State.
Right.
He couldn't do anything.
But that's, I understand, but we had some concerns about other Alabama wide receivers in the past, and they've been pretty good for a variety of similar reasons, competition stuff. So, no, I get it. But Elijah Moore, now that Garrett Wilson is there, he doesn't have the same ceiling. But
I think if this was the list of veteran losers here,
an irrelevant.
They were already losers.
Yeah, Curtis Samuel is done. Donovan Peoples-Jones done, but as I said on Twitter, he was never alive, and people called me out for that, but I don't care. That's just fantasy analysis. I wish him the best as an NFL player, but for my purposes as a fantasy analyst, he was never alive to me. And Paris Campbell, I've been talking against him for years. So
I'm trying to think. Michael Carter is probably the biggest loser.
Carter's the biggest loser, yeah, and then Devin Singletary is like a decent sized loser.
Devonta
with James
Smith
Cook coming in there. Devonta Smith is a huge loser. Yeah, Devonta Smith is a big loser.
Somebody needs to cut that right there, where it says Devonta Smith is a huge loser.
Yeah.
Let's see. Akash. I'm sorry. Rashad White probably.
Akash, I think. Akash,
probably had good receiving numbers at JUCO too before he was older at Arizona State. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure he did, but I don't care about JUCO.
Yep. He has laser eyes for you right now.
That's Hollywood Brown.
Yes. your only reason for not liking a young wide receiver in situation, then you have no reason to not like the young wide receiver.
I wish it worked that way, but the value continues to decline if they don't put up the fantasy points. So it is a factor. It has to be a factor.
Can you not like a young wide receiver situation?
I can. It's
Michael,
a factor. It is a factor.
Sitting at 102, no one is biting. Okay, we talked about 102.
Yeah, we've talked about 102 a lot. Yeah, take Walker, but I would try to trade down to take Walker if you have to.
Even on a rebuilding team?
Okay, it's close enough that if it's a rebuilding team, I'm willing to take someone else, and it would probably be Wilson. I'm willing to do it if it's a rebuilding team.
Really truther. Great suggestion for the kids. Already turned 9 in his early 30s. Don't take life so seriously. Yeah, I think that's a good.
Yeah, I'm with it.
Mac Jones or 112 and a 2023 first.
112 and a 23 first. I'm not adding significantly to a 23 first for Mac Jones, so I'll take 112, 23 first.
Got the 102, 108, 202, and 203. Best assets to target. Need wide receiver help. I think the biggest thing is don't draft for need.
Yeah, don't draft for need, and also trade 102 away. Either for a veteran. Try trading 102 for Godwin if you really need a wide receiver. Or
Wandale's a trap.
I'm mostly with you. I'm not a big fan of Wandale.
We just had a trade go down in our 1QB 12-team league. D-Hop for 111. Was this rookie love or what? No.
So 111 easily.
I take the 111 at this point.
Yeah, so would I.
Tyler says, at what point are you taking Hawk in a 12-team Superflex in that scoring system?
I mean, that's similar to my ranks. I'll take him in the late 4th.
Yeah, kind of after you get past maybe that top, all the top, the difference maker tight ends.
Yeah. I haven't had a Waller, though.
Yeah. So like tight end 5. Roughly.
5. I have him at 5. That's correct.
108 and 109 in a 1QB league or Diggs.
It's not good enough. I'll take Diggs.
Yeah, 111 over Hopkins. Agreed. Let's see. Here we go. 103 plus 209 for AJ Brown.
AJ Brown, for sure. AJ Brown easily.
Yeah, I feel like people are fading AJ Brown a lot because of the move to Philly.
Yeah, they're fading him too much.
I don't think they're factoring in that he's so good at after the catch that they just have to get the ball in his hands. It doesn't matter where.
Any team can support one really good weapon. It's the second and third weapons where I have a concern.
Chase Claypool or the 112?
Let's see. So the 112 would be James Cook for me.
Pickens?
Or, yeah, it could be Pickens. Yeah, I have that very similar. I'll take my chances on the 112, I think.
Sleeper ADP, it is Pickens, actually, which is kind of funny.
Pickens, okay, yeah. I would, and who do you prefer straight up, actually? Good question. Who would you take between Claypool and Pickens if choosing?
Pickens for me, but I mean, I've been the anti-Claypool guy all along here.
I'll lean Claypool, but it is very close.
102, going Burks, because I'm a fan. Shame me. I don't think that's
I'm not going to shame you. I said that I literally have them all back to back to back to back, so no shame.
Yeah. It's a wrong answer, but it's not a shameful answer, Tom.
Yeah, it's not a shameful answer.
The team that will probably have the 20. Okay, this is going back to one of those. I love the conversation here. Confused response. That makes sense. Love that there's all that. Travis Kelce for 112 and a late third.
It's not enough. I'll take Kelce.
No. Deontay's a stud all over the field. Tears up that reception perception chart.
He's all green everywhere. Green. And well, Juju's all red. We know that.
Not a bad receiving core for a young quarterback is all I'm saying.
No, it's not.
The top 4 wide receivers who were taken in the draft, wide receiver 2s.
I have them 16, 17, and 18. So, yeah.
Beatty or Kyron worrisome for Dobbins or Akers? Not really. Not for me.
Not really. And I still prefer Akers like I did pre-draft.
103 or trade down to 105, 106 range.
I'd trade down if you can.
Stuck in a mid-low tier team
I'd trade down anyway, no matter where you are.
I think this might be an example of waiting until the pick is on the clock, though, because somebody's going to have somebody they want.
Yeah, why don't you wait? But I would try to trade down. Like, I'm still.
Yeah, exactly. Trey Lance and Trevor Lawrence turned into top 12 quarterbacks this year.
I mean,
Yes.
I hope so.
I think so.
Like I said, I hope so.
Man, T-Law has a lower shot. I just don't agree. I think the one that's the most risky here is Trey Lance.
Think so?
I do.
Okay.
I mean, we still don't have a trade for Garoppolo, right?
I think that you're going to get that done very, very soon.
Right, but we're not looking at that kind of situation with Trevor Lawrence at all. And brand new offensive coordinator who's going to run way more plays than they ran last year. I'm in on Lawrence. Here we go. Do you hold any stock in the free agent wide receiver being bad narrative? Pretty shocking stats. 28-year-old or later in Hill Adams dynasty assets are dynasty
Aegis
is
okay, what he means there. Yeah, I mean, I hold some stock in it, but I'm not going to let it. I mean, DeAndre Hopkins, when he went to the Cardinals originally, was good. So I'm not, and Stephon Diggs, when he went to the Bills, was good. So I have some concerns because they're getting a quarterback downgrade, not because they're moving to a new team. That's more of my concern. And I'm more concerned about Hill because I'm more confident that Devonta Adams is really, really good. Tyreek Hill, not as sure, to be honest with you. I'm not as sure that Tyreek Hill is. I'm not sure that Tyreek Hill is elite on his own to the level of Devonta Adams.
Okay, so for fantasy purposes, maybe, but I do think people are underestimating how much he's going to help that offense with his speed.
No, I agree with you. I'm just
Devonta
saying Adams is elite.
Yeah, I think he's going to help the offense as a whole.
Is Tyreek Hill elite to the same level? I'm not as sure.
I would take Adams. in this situation too.
Even though he's older, which kind of sounds odd for me, but I'm more confident that Devonta Adams is going to produce with Carr than I am in Tyreek Hill with Tua.
Me too. 10-team Superflex 105, 2023 first, Chase Claypool and Terrace Marshall for Jamar Chase.
Oh, also to revisit real quick on Adams and Hill, there's no chance that Darren Waller is better than Devonta Adams. No chance. Devonta Adams is better. There is a chance that Jalen Waddle is the one.
I expect him to have better stats this year.
I don't, but I'm just saying that I expect Hill to be better this year. But I'm just saying there's a chance, there's a risk that Jalen Waddle takes a massive second-year leap and is just all-pro. And then Tyreek Hill is really not a good investment. Whereas on the Raiders, you don't have that risk. You know that Devonta Adams will be the one 100% if he's healthy. So that's why I go with Devonta Adams over Hill, despite the age.
This is Jamar Chase for me, pretty easy. In a 10-team league.
So it's going to be 23 first, 105. So let's say that's Treylon Burks, 23 first. Chase, yeah, it's just not enough. It's a lot of maybe for Jamar Chase. I'll still take Jamar Chase.
Especially 10-team league, right?
It's not a terrible offer. If the Chase Claypool were another 23 first, then we're talking about a reasonable offer.
You want studs in a 10-team
or
league.
If Terrace Marshall were like a good player like Elijah Moore, then we're having a reasonable offer. But this is not a reasonable offer. This is not enough.
Superflex tight end premium, 1.5 start 2 tight end leagues. Have
Waller, tight end. Just do yourself a favor and stop playing and start 2 tight end leagues for me, please. I really hate that format.
I could see taking McBride as early as right after that cutoff, right after Pickett, right? Or right in that same range in that kind of league?
Yeah, I would take Pickett because it's super flex. But yeah, then I'm good with McBride probably right after Pickett. McBride and Olave is kind of a conversation for me. And then I would probably stick with Olave. And then I would probably go McBride at 109.
2023 first, guaranteed 101. I don't know how you can guarantee
let's
that.
Let's say it's guaranteed. Let's just give him that, and let's give him that.
For Najee, T-Law, and Godwin.
No. The Lawrence side.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, don't unless your roster has like nothing and you just are trying to.
No,
purge.
even if it has nothing, you still.
You got to break them up. You got to break them up.
No, not doing that.
Are you higher on Clyde Edwards-Helaire post draft?
Slightly. I mean, I did raise him in my rankings a few spots, but I'm still not like overly bought in.
Hopkins or 2024 second and a 2023 third.
2024 is so far away. Just wait until week 4 or week 5, and I think you can get a 2023 second when he's about to come back. I don't think you have to see it to get a 2023 second. I think in season when he's about to come back, you'll be able to. So
I don't know if it's worth holding on to him that long for the possibility of that slight.
Well, he doesn't really hurt you. I mean, he takes up 1 roster spot out of 25 to 30. I don't think that's that bad.
You're just gonna hate looking at him on your roster and looking for somebody to drop
that much. Then,
so you're gonna look for somebody to drop when you're picking people up. Like when
I'm not
worried
running. About that. I want the price that I think I can get week 4, week 5 now, and I'll just keep trying to get it. And if I can't get it, I'll just wait.
104, assuming London, Holland, Wilson are off the board. Who you got?
Walker. Yeah, Walker.
What?
I'm not trading for Malik now. He's overvalued to me.
No,
because I have him so low in my startup rankings, but in rookie markets, he seems to be going in an early second, which I'm totally not in on. So I'm completely out on Malik Willis at the moment.
FF Lefty thinks Wandale is interesting. Profile Red Flag City. Some of the only prospects to hit like that were under Dayball.
Well, I believe the Giants that they're not trading Kadarius Toney. I believe them. I think that they're telling the truth. So if they're not trading Kadarius Toney, then I don't really know what they're doing. Because, like, they drafted Wan'Dale Robinson. They have Sterling Shepard, who they intend to use. And they still have Kenny Golladay and Kadarius Toney. Are they planning to play some 4 wide? Maybe. But it just seems like Wan'Dale Robinson is a Kadarius Toney replacement. Like, Wan'Dale Robinson fits in that Kadarius Toney Z role, really. That's where he would play on the Giants. So I don't get the pick because I believe that this landing spot is just so bad that I'm skeptical that I don't think Wan'Dale Robinson is all that great. I think he's just okay. So I'm probably not going to take a chance on just okay in just a disastrous landing spot.
Dude got all the targets in Kentucky. I'm
aware of that, but I just don't think that he's all that great.
But yeah, I don't either. 103 or Antonio Gibson?
103 easily.
A-Rod and
We had
Rodgers.
this question already, and we said the Swift side.
Let's see. All right, is this a rebuilding team? Dak, Carr, Brees, Etienne, Godwin, Pittman, Kirk, Hawkinson, Gesicki.
I don't know if this is a rebuild. Well, it's start 2 tight ends, so it could be better at tight end for sure. I mean, it's not that bad. Yeah.
I'll still take Walker.
I'll still take Walker. I don't think this is necessarily a rebuild.
You're not that far. Kelsey or Freiermuth, Henderson, and a 2023 second.
You have to get more than this for Kelsey. It's not good enough.
Have to. Pickett, 16 team, Superflex.
16 team Superflex? Well, that changes everything. So he's 107 for me in a 12 team Superflex. In a 16 team Superflex, I'll take him 102. Because in a 16 team Superflex, I think the top 25 quarterbacks are going to go off in the first 3 rounds. So I'll take Pickett 102. Only Hall above him and him before everyone else. I don't think people really realize.
Olave?
What?
Before Olave?
I think 102.
Oh, you said 102? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What? In a 16 team?
People do not understand what a 16 team Superflex is. They don't get it. And maybe I'll write about this in the article this week because I harp on this all the time. A 16 team Superflex changes the whole game. You're essentially talking about quarterback scarcity gets insane in a 12 team Superflex. In a 16 team Superflex, there's only 32 quarterbacks that start any week. So yeah, Kenny Pickett would be
true for every other position too, right? I mean,
no, it's not because
Walker is still going to be valuable in a 16-team league.
With quarterback, there's a hard limit to the number.
Sure.
And you need quarterback to succeed. You won't win.
Man.
You
I
won't
can't
win
go
without
102.
them. And if you, I
I'm not that
guarantee
excited
you,
about him.
do the exercise I
don't
said.
like him.
Do the exercise I said and rank a 16-team Superflex startup and rank the quarterbacks, and you'll see that he will come in at the 102.
No, I hear you.
But trust me, he will. He will. If you actually did the exercise and ranked the quarterbacks as quarterbacks should be valued, Kenny Pickett would be the 102 in that format. So that's
Pittman.
just the reality of the situation.
Michael Pittman or the 106?
I have Michael Pittman just above Jameson Williams. Barely. So there's your answer, I guess. But if I could get a better play, any of the other players at 106, I'd rather have them over Michael Pittman. I really like Michael Pittman.
Rapid Raven, when do you think James Cook will take over the lead role in Buffalo?
This year. And
never. I think never.
His ceiling is his ceiling is Alvin Kamara, but he's never gonna hit that. So realistically, what I think happens, if you really want to know, is, and I think people want to know because they're here, is I think that they're done with Devin Singletary. I think James Cook and Singletary split the work this year with, Cook taking some. I don't think you'll really be able to use him that much this year. But I think he'll flash and he'll be good. And then next year, I think that they add, another running back to take Singletary's spot. And, but I'm not that into James Cook. But I will say that if he does consolidate the work and he takes a large percentage of it, his ceiling is very high. He's explosive.
The GM already said the goal is to give him like 4 or 5 touches. Like he's a role player. That's all he was.
I hear you.
Keyshawn Vaughn.
I hear you. I don't have him that high. I mean, Keyshawn Vaughn in startups was way higher. I have James Cook like 2 rounds lower than I ranked Keyshawn Vaughn initially. And I only have James Cook at 12 in Superflex. So, and he's not going to go up. He could only go down if the news on him continues to sour. But in startup rankings, things get ugly around there. So I'm fine taking a chance.
Do you know what Cook's ADP was in April? In rookie
24.
Draft? Do you know what Keyshawn Vaughn's ADP was in April last year or 2 years ago?
24.
21.
Yeah.
Do you know what Trey Sermon's was last year?
Oh, pre-draft, I think his was higher. I think he was around
24.
14. Really?
24.
Oh.
Yes. We're doing the same thing with Cook.
Well, I'm not, to be honest with you.
To have him at 12 from 24
but
to 12?
I didn't have him at 24. I had him at 16. So I'm not doing that. I'm not making the same massive jump. I had him at 16 at the risk that he could not go in the first round or the second round or even the third round, and he would end up as a day 3 pick. So that's why I have him at 16. He went in round 2, so now he's at 12. Seems very reasonable to me, rankings-wise. What else do you want me to do?
I mean, for a guy that's going to touch the ball 4 or 5 times, I just
don't know that. That's what they said, and I believe that's what he's going to do week 1. But I don't know what's going to happen in week 5.
Giants have Dayball at head coach. Kafka's OC. They're going to run more motion than anything. Wanda will have carries out of the backfield. I don't know.
We'll see about that.
FF Lefty, thanks for the show. Thanks for the guest spot. And smash that like, people.
Yep. Like, subscribe. Addison gets his wings.
That's right. Why Walker over wide receiver like Garrett Wilson?
Well, you're missing that Walker's running back, and that running backs have more value if they hit.
Yeah, he's already got a higher ADP, and that's before landing spot. And to me, Seattle's a good landing spot. I don't know why people don't like it.
Because the offense is bad.
Yep. There's not a coach in the league that wants to establish the run more than Pete Carroll.
I mean, Rashad Penny was the RB1 over the last 6 weeks. So
yeah,
and he did it. And I think Kenneth Walker's a way better player.
Oh, this is fun.
All right, make this the last one.
All right, this is the last one. Dart throws, go.
Okay. Let's see. My first dart throw would be Cole Turner.
Ooh.
Tight end from Nevada, went to Washington.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm also interested in let's see. That was the one that maybe I'm the most interested in. I don't know if this counts, but Isaiah Pacheco, just in case.
I was aiming way higher than you, apparently, I guess. When I first thought about this question, Jalen Tolbert is the one.
Oh, well, that's not a dart throw.
I mean, 26 was his ADP. So, I mean,
it's not a dart throw, though. That's not
late second, early third. Yeah, if I got to go lower than that, I don't know. It gets pretty ugly. Your names are fine.
Khalil Shakir.
Master Teague on the Bears.
Khalil Shakir.
As an unrestricted, since I'll stay with my my thing there. So yeah, Tyler's tired. I'm tired. My voice is going after all the draft talk and all of that. Anyway, Tyler, thank you so much. Thanks to Hutch for coming on. Thanks to everybody in the chat. It was fired up. Appreciate all of you guys. You're the best. We'll see you on the next show.
We love you.
Tyler, any last words?
No, we love you. And I just appreciate everyone who tunes in and who's been tuning in over the last however long. And yeah, just keep asking those questions, and we'll be here to guide you through your rookie drafts, startup drafts, and into the season.